Good evening, fellow ghouls and specters alike. It's your ghost host with the most here, Tiki.
And BlueDragonFive, here to engage in some haunted holiday hijinks by trudging through the catacombs and dusting off the cobwebs as we recount our spooky selection of Halloween classics.
So light the jack-o'-lantern, suit up, and grab the candy dish as we revive and recount tonight's selection. Garfield's Halloween Adventure. Maniacal laugh. It's the most wonderful time of the year, besides Christmas in July. How you doing, Dragon? It's Halloween yet again. It is our fourth season, technically of seasonal shenanigans, but our third full-length season. Man, oh man, folks, we've got a spectacular lineup.
Haunted holiday hijinks, not seasonal shenanigans. That's later.
I already screwed it up, Dragon. I already screwed it up. Awesome. We're off to a good start. We've got a spectacular selection of shorts and Halloween specials for you guys this year. Can't wait to reveal them all. Of course, we're starting with Garfield. This has sort of been our, like, hey, remember how cool Garfield is here, right, Dragon?
Yes, because, I mean, seriously, we were, I think, like, everyone, we know, Garfield's so entwined in the culture. We all know Garfield. We know, Garfield animation at the back of our hand. We know him. He's an American institution. But I tell you, looking at Christmas in July, re-experiencing Garfield, it's been years since I've really kind of sat down and watched the old animated stuff of Garfield from the 80s, especially. I was just so swept up in the charm of him. I was reminded in this special especially, how much I love the character, how much he just, like, I mean, how much this take on Garfield was just better than what we, have just kind of simplified Garfield being like, oh, Garfield, he doesn't care for most things. That's kind of how we look at him now. Back in the day, it's like he's just kind of this fun everyman, but he was a cat.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, of course, folks, this is sort of a predecessor to the most famous Halloween-related Garfield thing, which is the 1989 comic strip that was published the week of Halloween, Monday through Friday. And essentially, folks, this one, I don't know, we might talk about it, like, more in depth on a future hijinks. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Spoiler alert, we are going to be talking about a comic this year. Can you guess which one? Anyways. So yeah, Dragon, I strongly recommended you read this comic strip, and I'm sure you got a good kick out of it too. It's essentially, folks, I don't want to get into it in too much detail, but it's essentially like an existential nightmare on Garfield's end. And it's actually one of the more famous and more well-respected comic strip things that's ever come out of Garfield. I sort of feel like the animation side of Garfield these days is more respected than the comic strip side of Garfield, if only because I feel like the comic strip has kind of a reputation where, sure, everyone loves the character, but it gets a little repetitive from time to time, especially with it being around for as long as it has been. But I feel like the Halloween comic strip in 1989 was a true sort of like, hey, if people really take the time and effort into it, they can come up with something really, really special for this character. So this episode doesn't quite get to the existential nightmare fuel that is the 1989 Garfield comic strip, but it's very good, Dragon. It's very good. What I like the most about this comic strip, or not this comic strip, what I like the most about this special is it's classic Halloween. You know what I mean? Much in the same way that Garfield's holiday heat wave, which we reviewed for Christmas in July and fell in love with, much in the same way that just evokes classic Christmas.
It's a celebration.
Right, this is like all the, all the spooky sheet ghosts and costumes and trick-or-treating and, jack-o'-lanterns and all that classic Halloween imagery. And that's the thing I appreciate the most about it. The one thing I will say is that I do think because of the runtime, I feel like the Christmas special, which was only 10 minutes long, is a little bit more perfect than
Actually,
this.
like 7. It was even shorter, Tiki.
Oh, you're right. It was 7 minutes.
Actually, it's like 6 minutes 50 seconds. I'm just rounding up to 7. I'm just really short.
So this being, about 20 minutes longer than that, roughly, like 18 or 19 minutes longer than that. There's a little bit of padding in this, especially when it comes to these songs, which we'll get into, and that's really,
Sorry, I was gonna say that's
really the only nitpick I have in terms of it.
Yeah, that's a cool thing about when you adapt a comic strip is that you can go for like literal the literal kind of comic strip adaptation, which is you can almost see the panels kind of unfold before you, which would be really a short runtime, or you can kind of like adapt it a little more broadly, kind of like what we've seen with Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, where you have like scenes that are kind of pulled from panels, but you have some kind of inventive stuff in between or some fun stuff in between. So it's panel adapting strips. It's kind of broad to interpretation sometimes.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Dragon, what background do you have for this?
So just a few little fun facts about this. Of course, this was made in 1985. It was one of the early specials, one of the early holiday specials, maybe like possibly the fourth. I don't know. It's out of it was the early run of these specials, which means they actually have the original.
It was the fourth, yeah.
Yes, it was the fourth. We actually had directing this was Phil Roman, who essentially kind of pioneered Garfield in animation. So we have kind of the guys in the early days of Garfield in animation really brought this to life, which is cool. So you have Phil Roman, and you also have Jim Davis, who of course not only created Garfield, but having him writing this one gives some good cachet, gives some good like, oh boy, this is classic Garfield. It feels like classic Garfield in many ways, Also, we should, just for posterity, I know we kind of mentioned before, so also kind of put it down here, is that, of course, this predates Garfield and Friends, the animated show, which gave us Holiday Heat Wave, because that was started in 1988. This is in 1985.
Sure.
And lastly, I guess, really impressively, I didn't know this until I was really looking into it, this special won an Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Yeah!
All
so,
right,
without further ado.
So let's get into it. So we start with Binky the Clown, who's probably a lot more terrifying in retrospect these days.
Yes. Of course, Binky kind of voicing kind of that Jim Davis humor where he has like that great design theory. He has like those eyes that kind of like in between these just bombastic lines that just kind of course, jostle kind of the calm, cool, collected world of Garfield. Garfield's sleeping, and Binky's like, Binky the Clown here! Of course, Garfield stalls.
Get your lazy bottoms out of bed and do some jumping jacks.
Yeah, it has that great design theory we see on characters like John, where basically kind of the eyes get really crossed with people, and it's kind of fun. Also, kind of fun to see the similarities in some of these people on the designs. It's also really fun to see Binky kind of interact with basically interacting with Garfield's kind of laying out to him. You're just Binky kind of like increasing his bullying Garfield in the shape, and Garfield's not into it.
You don't exercise with Binky, you're gonna grow up to be worthless.
You're a little less Tim Curry, Tiki, but sure. just love the delivery. Or else, he just says it so happy and clown-like. It's so wonderfully creepy. It's like, or else you'll be worthless. Just so enthusiastic about berating people. So, and one thing I want to hit. So I love the Lorenzo Music's take on Garfield. It's wonderful. It's a blast from the past for me. I don't gush about it so much, but let's just say. I love that he embodies. We get the childlike nature of Garfield here, where he gets wrapped up into it. And that's kind of the great relatability of the comic. We have all had that moment where we get wrapped up in something and we realize, wait, why are we doing this? Because he's doing jumping jacks because the TV told him to. Wait a minute, why am I doing this? I hate jumping jacks. And he's hunting for the remote. Says, Binky, I don't like you. He's talking to the TV. No one's around. It's hilarious. Just like Binky, I don't like you. He's finding the remote just to spite him and turn off. And what does he say, Tiki? Before he turns it off.
That's right. This is the night you can get lots of candy. You don't want to be lazy, do ya?
Of course, he turns off the TV defiantly. Aha! They realize, oh, no. He turns it back on. No, Binky,
come back, Binky. Where are you, buddy?
Oh, God. It's so fun. Oh, man. Music, it's literally music to my ears, Tiki. I got to tell you. Lorenzo music to my ears. So, then Garfield's all jovial, basically learning that basically Binky's kind of getting the cell line. They're like, "Hey, what's Halloween? If not for candy, who wants candy this Halloween? We want candy, don't we?" And of course, Garfield, and this is wonderfully I love that this is drawn. It's Garfield's mouth wide open, all enthusiastic. Again, I've seen the happy side of Garfield. You know, he's just saying, "Yes, we do." It's like, oh man, it's so wonderful and jovial.
But Garfield kind of pulls a Star-Lord over the opening credits.
Yes, he does. He does. We have kind of a happy dance number. Of course, the songs in this sang by the great Lou Rawls.
Now, if Guardians of the Galaxy ever does a Halloween special, of course, naturally, Star-Lord has to dance over the Monster Mash in the opening credits.
Oh, you know! Oh my God! Yes. Tiki, never have you been so right. Tiki, never have you been so right.
Yes. Thank you, sir. I have my moments.
Yes. Either that or Thriller, one of the two, but especially
I vote Monster Mash. I think
I'm
Monster Mash is classic Halloween.
I'm with you there too. Plus, Thriller's probably expensive, so Monster Mash.
Exactly.
Anyway, so it's after that, kind of a nice little jovial opening there. That's the cold open. That's the cold open. Like, hey, we're doing a Halloween special next morning. Garfield wakes up excited. Why, Tiki?
Because he wants candy.
Yes, and I love this. He's like reining himself in. Okay, easy, Garfield. I love him talking to himself. Easy. Garfield.
It's basically like him being a drug addict for candy. The way I saw it.
Anyway, so he ain't quite see it that way, but that's true. That's kind of funny. I admit that. He's basically kind of making himself a to-do list for it. Okay, I need a costume. I need a big sack for all the candy. So, and we have this. I love that Garfield also is enjoying the holiday. He is. He's going to scare the living daylights out of some people with some jump scares. Putting on his blanket, kind of crawling around, all kind of monstrous, all kind of all spooky. Let's see. So then he basically with the blanket, kind of like a living cocoon or something. He kind of goes in the other room. It's also like a sheet ghost too. It's kind of a multi-purpose kind of little thing. He scares John. John is scooping out a pumpkin. The jack-o'-lantern, and we have this hilarious visual gag. It cracks me up. I know it's simple. I know but it's classic Halloween.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, Dragon, because the jack-o'-lantern mask is one of my favorite elements of this special because it's so simple, but it's so classic Halloween. You know what I mean? It's
such
like
a great
the blue meth of Halloween.
Sure.
Like purified Halloween.
You know what's funny? Bryan Cranston, I'll bet you, if Vince Gilligan or Bryan Cranston, they had the meth candy, because the meth on Breaking Bad is
it's basically like blue rock candy. Yeah.
No, seriously, that's what it is.
I know.
And you got to imagine Bryan Cranston, because I know they made cookies with that stuff. Like Betsy Brandt, she made cookies with the blue meth in it.
Oh God.
I think she made it, but the point is it was made. And just the fact, you got to imagine they would give that out around Halloween. Bags of blue meth from Walter White's house, or from the guy who created Walter White's house. Hysterical. Anyway, of course, we know what Howard Hamill would be giving out, but let's get off. Anyway, just like, Bobby, why'd he give me tea?
What kind of tea, Dragon? Green tea, English breakfast tea?
That's why you want to go to Howard Hamlin's house this Halloween, kids. You want to find out what's Mr. Hamlin giving away.
Does he just have one of those like sampler boxes with a bunch of different kinds?
That's what he's doing, Tiki. He's giving like all the. He also has like the fancy tins too. Like here's a tin. You don't know what you're gonna get at Howard Hamlin's house. Anyway, back on topic. So yes, the pumpkin head gag never gets old. It's such a great kind of design thing. Just John with a pumpkin on his head, because the idea is this ridiculous idea of the pumpkin landing on his head and it somehow is not broken. It's just on his head and he just looks
right.
And I love to hear him like the muffled delivery of John saying, "That's not funny, Garfield." And this is Tiki has got me so excited watching. It's like, "That's not funny, Garfield." And of course, Garfield makes a funny face. "What about this?" He's like, makes a funny face. John gives a laugh. Ha ha. He says, "Why can't I stay mad at you? Why can't I ever stay angry at you, Garfield?" And it's so I love that we have in this special. It could just be by numbers. Okay, funny Garfield moments, which that's perfectly fine. I love that we have heart in this in place. I love the heart that we have here, and especially by the end, the Odie story. The Odie story is fantastically rife with heartfeltness, and we have these moments with John there, where it's like these moments they try to painfully recapture in the Garfield movie, but we have it all in spades naturally here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he loves this cat, man. That's why he takes all the guff. That's why he makes endless things of lasagna. This is a man who loves his cat. It's nice.
Oh, yeah.
So he's asking Garfield, he's making small talk with his cat, who he cannot understand, by the way. Let's make it clear. He's not a telepathic thing. He cannot understand Garfield.
That's always been one of the weird, distinct things about Garfield, is that he talks in thought.
I know. So I thought it was always kind of clever that we could have that in, you know, for the kids' cartoon, like with the script intended for kids. You know, they would get that concept. Always was kind of
right.
Anyway, so you're practicing for Halloween. We have this ridiculous line, but it's delivered so wonderfully by music it sells. Just practice for Halloween. I don't need to practice for Halloween. My Halloween is my middle name, Gar Halloweenfield. Gar Halloweenfield. It shouldn't be funny, but it is. I don't know why. All right. So let's see. So no, Tiki, tell him the pumpkinhead gag. Tell him the pumpkinhead gag.
You're probably wondering what I'm doing with this pumpkin on my head.
Oh, look at there! You got a pumpkin on your head. I didn't notice. Oh boy, and then it's really cute. A lot of cute Halloween humor at the beginning of this.
Well, again, it's very tropey, but in a good way.
Yeah, of course, we live for the tropes here on Halloween. Hijinks, haunted.
Well, I mean, we more live for the tropes on a certain other show, but yes, sure. Here too.
Okay, let's see. So Garfield, he's starting to eat some. I'm sorry, do you want to take this?
Yeah, he's eating the pumpkin innards, and John has to point it out before he stops eating it.
Pui.
And this is a great bit here with the breakfast. He's like, "No, thanks, John. I'm saving room for candy." And then, of course, he stubbornly goes back, "Well, maybe just a sweet roll to tide me over."
Yeah, this scene would be silly tangent. This scene would be hilarious if they did this on Breaking Bad on Halloween special. Walter Jr. If Walter Jr. was so excited about either like a Halloween party, there'd be a lot of candy. He was excited about, you know.
Oh, that's classic.
Getting candy, and just like, you know, Walter, just to try to earn points with the kisses. Oh, look, Junior, I made your breakfast. Made a big breakfast.
No thanks, Dad. I'm saving for my candy.
Maybe some bacon, because we know Walter Jr. loves his bacon.
Oh yeah, naturally.
Not the turkey bacon, but he likes bacon.
All right.
Anyway, yes, so basically
Garfield, you know, after he takes a sweet roll, he also goes back for the bacon, and then he goes back for. It's like, you know what? Let me just take the whole thing.
Yeah. Right. So then we have this hilarious image of Odie wearing the pumpkin.
Again, I'm loving the pumpkin mask, Dragon. I don't know.
It's so great is that with Odie, it's one, you have the size thing, but also the tongue sticking out. Looks great. And, you know, then he scares Garfield. You know, it's like, you know, Garfield's failed scare, and this is, hey, it's not nice to scare people. It's hilarious.
Right.
Oh, then Garfield does stand up.
Yeah, he basically rips like, Odie's so ugly, he doesn't need a mask to go trick-or-treating.
Oh, yeah, I get some, you know, he does.
But then Garfield has an idea. An awful idea. No, I'm just kidding.
A spooky, joyful idea.
Yes. So basically, if Garfield takes Odie trick-or-treating, it's basically twice the amount of candy for the price of one.
Which is true, and that's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
So, Garfield invites Odie to. Do you want to take us through Garfield?
Yes, specifically because Halloween is a traditional night where dogs go after. Specifically, it's not that dogs, you know, it's not by choice. They have to. I love the way that Garfield words it. They have to go out and help cats get candy. They have to.
And this is another nice moment with all these great Odie Garfield scenes here. It's almost like kind of that rarity when Tom and Jerry kind of get along. Not when they start talking.
Oh God, no, not when they start.
But, you know, when they get along, you know, in silence. It's just kind of this great.
I didn't know you could talk. Well, I just never had anything to say.
All right. Let's rein it in. Candy. Let's rein it in. But seriously, so. I love this. You know, Garfield, you know, he says, you know, Odie's going to be doing this for one piece of candy. And, of course, he's happy to do anything. And then as he leaves the room, he says, there are times when I love that dog. That's what I'm talking about, Tiki.
Yeah, totally.
That's nice.
All right, so they're going through an old box of stuff, trying to make a costume. I love how Garfield's, like, throwing all the old stuff on Odie, and it kind of accidentally makes like, an abstract costume on him.
Yeah, he's going through the box. He's got like a bow tie. He's got sunglasses,
like some dentures.
You have cousin, you know, like the cousin and the aunt's, you know, fake teeth, and it's It's ridiculous. Like, a lot of strings makes this ridiculous looking costume. So then let's see. Then basically they find the treasure trove, basically a chest. A chest. A little foreshadow at the end costumes.
Ooh.
They find a treasure trove through a treasure chest of costume choices. And of course, they have this kind of wonderful little. Yeah, it's a nice little sequence here. You know, Garfield. Learns the music, kind of do little music numbers. Garfield basically, what should I be? Basically, I'm just going to list off like all the possibilities. You know, like you could be a king, you could be a vampire, he could be a bat, he could be
an astronaut, robot, hobo, clown.
He could be Black Panther. Speaking of Star-Lord, because no, he actually, you know, he's a Black Panther.
This song, like all the music, it's nice. It's, you know, it's jazzy.
No,
it's just
nothing to write home about, but it's not. It's done well.
I do like the imagery here. Again, great kind of classic Halloween imagery. Especially, I love the imagery of I was gonna say Batman, of Garfield turning into a vampire bat, and then the bat turning into the cat. Yeah,
the Panther, man. That's cool. Also, the last one, of course. It's a combo costume. It's the
the astronaut, robot, hobo, clown.
Oh, which is great, and also it's the alien creature out from out of town. Okay, let's see. Yes. So then eventually Garfield's big costume reveal, the bane of Rick Sanchez's existence. It's Garfield as Orangebeard the pirate.
Oh shit, that part was real. Let's go, Morty.
Oh, but seriously, I mean, Garfield's a pirate. You know, that was a good costume choice.
I want to point out, Dragon, by far the biggest nostalgia I have for this thing is seeing the VHS in my video store. You know, back when they had video stores and back when they had VHSs. Yes, I'm that old. But, you know, I remember seeing the VHS, like, all the time, you know, like, and the VHS was, like, just a great, like, you know, just a great picture of Garfield and Odie in the pirate costumes.
And you know what's nice, Tiki? This is occurring to me in the moment here. I mean, I feel sheepish for that, but you know, a lot of it makes sense for Garfield for the special because you know he's a candy pirate. You know, he's sacking, you know, basically the booty being the candy.
So, Orangebeard the pirate and Odie the stupid.
Yep. Now we have two. Basically, when they introduce themselves, the John, I love that he claims John's lasagna for his own.
Yes.
I love that we see him. John has to eat some of that lasagna because he buys so much excess. You know, he's going to be stuck with eating some of that lasagna. Oh, yes, and Odie the Stupid. I love that initially he has 4 peg legs. That to me was hilarious. I knew they weren't going to be able to keep that. It would be too hard to animate, but it was fun. So John thinks, and this is cute, man. There's all sorts of pleasantries in this thing, man.
Pleasantries, Garfield.
Yes! Oh, my God. That would be so good to hear. I know it's a possibility, but it would be nice. Anyway. Just chalk it up to the wish list. Okay, so John thinks they look silly. He's, oh, you guys look silly. It's like stupid pet tricks, but lovingly. Oh, yes, do you have Garfield's line?
Sorry, I don't.
Let you live?
No, I don't. Sorry.
I'll let you live because you changed my kitty litter.
All right.
Let's see. So he gives them sex, and this is like sending the kids out for Halloween, essentially. I mean, John, it's kind of looking at that realistic thing where you have pet owners. They kind of sometimes, again, it's up to each his own. It's like a lot of pet owners kind of view their pets as their children. So like John can abuse these guys. They're sort of his kids.
Dragon, I want to bring this up with you really quick, but just as kind of like a random fun aside for Halloween, what did you use for sacks for your trick-or-treating? Because I always used a pillowcase.
Well, I never used the pillowcase, but what I did
was like the best because you could get so much in there.
You know, a part of me deep down wanted the pillowcase, but I just like, you know what, I just can't pull it off.
I pulled it off.
I know. I always kind of went with I had I had the bags. I just a lot of times, you know, the plastic bags. But many times though, I had now more than ever I have theme bags. You know, I have like bags with like stuff printed on it, or like for example, I'm looking for some Spider-Man on it from a Spider-Man costume, that sort of stuff.
Nice. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry, just kind of like a random fun. Anyways, go ahead. So they start singing about Halloween when they're out trick-or-treating. Now, Dragon, this is probably my least favorite segment, just because again, it doesn't really amount to much. It's like, yeah, I get it. They're going to go trick-or-treating, and they're pirates.
I think the humor in this is funny though. You know, why do we have like the trick or treating shanty, which it's not bad. Let's see.
We have a classic sheet ghost.
Now I love the Tiki. They're the institutions of Halloween. I think the two go-tos for me. It's the pumpkin, just the jack-o'-lantern period, and the sheet ghost. Those to me are the institutions of Halloween. You know, like when you think of like Halloween decorations, those are the go-tos.
You know what isn't an institution of Halloween?
What is an institution of Halloween, Tiki?
Gargamel from the Smurfs.
Right. Okay.
Who we run into in this special. He has a weird...
I'm so glad you pointed that because he looks identical to Gargamel.
Yes, it's totally Gargamel. It's at the very least a kid dressed as Gargamel.
It's seasick Gargamel, basically. That's kind of what it is.
Right.
Anyway, basically they run into kids. Initially, this is a cute kind of comic. See, this feels very comic strip-esque, and I love this. So basically, they run into. Bear in mind to take the music out, it feels very much comic strip-esque. But just the premise here that Odie's scared. And basically Garfield like pulls the kid's mask off and demonstrates, see, Odie, it's a kid. I'd be scared of. And they kind of go on their jovial walk, the whole trick-or-treating shanty by the Great Lou Rawls. And let's see, so we have a sheet ghost, and they remove, and then we see it's Bigfoot underneath. And we have like mini Gargamel, and then of course we have again some levitating sheet ghosts, which means they're actually a ghost. Ghost. So it's a cute little thing. It's like, hey, this isn't real. And I realize, oh my god, it is real. Funny. So let's see. So they're trick or treat at the first house. Let's see, they're a little sparing, and then this is funny. Garfield's pirate threat to ruin their drapes leads to a big payday, big haul. Nice. I
like how when he doesn't say trick or treat, he just says gimme.
Yep. We see a montage of them going to a few houses. Let's see. So basically, after a successful night, after a very serviceable night of trick or treating, Garfield has an idea.
I'm not going to engage with that.
Oh, man, I was all set.
I'm sorry.
Son of a... Anyway.
Because it's not an awful idea. It's a pretty good idea.
What's a play, man? It's a reckless idea. You saw what happened. Tiki, if that was ever appropriate to be here.
All right. Okay. Do it again.
So, Tiki.
Yes?
Garfield has an idea.
An awful idea.
Yes, he does. He has the idea to go across the river for more candy.
Now, Dragon, I will point out that this is definitely kind of something that is in the spirit of Halloween, because I remember many a times I was out with my friends and we could see like how far past our neighborhood we could go. So, I mean, it wasn't like, we'd never like go to a mysterious island or anything like that. You know what I mean? But like just kind of like the adventure of like, all right, let's see how many, let's see if we can get, how many blocks from our house we can get. You know what I mean? But anyways, go ahead.
Okay, let's see. So, oh yeah, Garfield has this bit where this is a fun kind of. Again, we don't really have a huge kind of serious existential crisis on Garfield. We do have this brief kind of existential.
I would honestly say Binky taunting Garfield is like the closest we come to the tone of the strip. Honestly.
Or else you're worthless.
That's what I'm saying.
But no, this is a funny, this kind of a lighter version here. Garfield ponders. Garfield ponders if he's become greedy. If he should share his candy, perhaps. Am I missing the true spirit of Halloween? A moment of pause goes by. Nah. So the two of them hop a boat. They begin to sail across. Unfortunately, they're caught in the current. Garfield smartly says, "Odie, we need the oars. Get the oar. We need basically get out the oars, Odie." And of course, Odie foolishly ditches the oars. Basically, puts the oars in the oar, which means they have no way of going against the current, which means they're at the sea. Now we're at the mercy of the sea. Flipper the gibbets. I want my money as they kind of drift down into the fog. So like these guys are out of their element now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just point out, this is another, again, Dragon, I feel like there's a lot of really, really simple design elements of the short that work well, but I love Garfield's sharp teeth.
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't know, just something I thought I'd throw in there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So
Anyways,
let's see. So they float aimlessly for a while.
Garfield kind of gets into a bout of self-pity.
Yeah, he longs to be Garfield the house cat over Orangebeard the pirate. Oh, this is great here. Just blows his ego up here. We're basically just highlighting. Basically, he makes Garfield sound like Bruce Wayne or James Bond, essentially. He just says,
Right.
This is world traveling, jet setting playboy. He's describing like Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne right now. I don't know why we've had at least 3 or 4 superhero references with Garfield this episode. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's see. Odie points to land. Land ho to be exact. So they land on this one creepy house. Tiki, you love haunted houses. Paint the picture of the creepy house.
I don't have to paint the picture of the creepy house because the creepy house is up on the screen, folks.
Well.
No, but in all seriousness, I one of the things I do like about this house is that they have the added element of it being on an island, so there's a remoteness to it.
Yes, kind of a Scooby-Doo quality.
Right.
The place seems deserted, but there's a light on inside. They go to warm themselves by the fire.
I will say that this is when the episode starts getting genuinely spooky.
Yes. Yeah, this is the thing that really enticed you to the special, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Want to elaborate on that?
So as they go to warm themselves by the fire, a very, very creepy old man. This guy is genuinely frightening.
He's worse at all. He is not in the Garfield style. That's what's so hilarious. That's what's so creepy about it. So essentially,
you picked a poor night to visit my friends. This could be the worst night of your lives.
And of course, they're instantly scared, but as much as they want to leave, they're just kind of like forced to listen to the story. Hey, you love pirate lore. Do you want to take us through the story?
I think you could probably tell it better than I can.
All right, just the streamline here, folks.
Yeah.
Essentially, he goes in the story. The island is 100 years old, and we basically have kind of a painting flashback.
This is essentially like a Grandpa Phil story.
Essentially. So let's see. Basically, this island's 100 years old. We flash back to essentially a pirate battle between pirates that eventually led to them burying treasure on somewhere on the island. But they signed a contract in blood. Ooh, blood contract. Not a contract between brothers, but a contract.
Yes, I get it.
Constructed entirely of bloody material. Anyway, so basically the deal written in blood was to return 100 years later. On Halloween, on this very Halloween night at midnight, even from beyond the grave, they're going to return to this site and get their treasure, get their gold, the gold. So, how you Tiki? You might be wondering, how does this old man know all this?
My God, how?
He was the cabin boy.
I was that cabin boy.
Yes. Yeah, guys, at least 100 years old. Well, he's probably 110 years old.
Right.
So, Anyway, so, he invites them. Okay. Oh, yeah, so we have this beer. So basically, Garfield, of course, as any of us would be logically startled, like we want to get the heck out of here. We want to get out of Dodge on this matter. He says, okay, well, we're going to be leaving. Hey, we better get going. You want to come with us? And, of course, they turn. Basically, you get off the island before all this haunting happens. They realize, oh, my God, he's gone. Not only is he gone, he stole their boat! And not only
did he steal their boat, Dragon.
Say it ain't so, Tiki. What did he steal?
The candy!
No! Yes.
No!
Garfield, he desperately wants to go home because this is like the biggest blow of all, and the candy's gone because candy was in the boat and the man is still in the boat. Bum, bum, bum. No!
Now that is the true tragedy of the special.
Yep. Someone cue the Mozart. Someone cue the Lacrimosa. Someone cue the Lacrimosa Requiem. Anyway, So we have basically they try stopping the. So I'm trying to think of. Basically, they're trapped on the island, and pirates come back from the dead.
Yeah, so not just pirates, Dragon, but pirate ghosts. And not just pirate ghosts, but Bald Mountain style pirate ghosts. Seriously,
Yes.
this might be the only other cartoon that I've seen this specific style of ghost used besides Bald Mountain, and it's very distinct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a cool way. It's a cool kind of design we have on these ghosts. All kind of see through and kind of just the white effects on these ghosts.
It's almost kind of like the ghosts are like materializing in fog or something. That's what I like about the design.
Feels very ghostly, but also something we should acknowledge. Just this whole third act of this thing. Of course, it's a big kind of it's an unexpected change in style with the old man. I mean, as much as we kind of built up the pirate thing and kind of a jovial, like hey, we're trick or treating. Now it's kind of turned like, hey, you kind of took on your demons. And
no, I mean you're definitely right. The last act of the special is definitely kind of gets into some dark territory. I mean, not quite as dark as like the the '89 comic strip, but still, it's a little more intense than I was expecting.
Dark. Yeah, it was just more like kind of Scooby-Doo spooky.
All
right. So, okay, so let's see. So basically,
we have a really well-timed gag where Garfield and Odie are hiding in a cabinet, and Odie sneezes and the cabinet opens, and the pirates see them, and Garfield's like...
And Odie are smiling at his big old smiles. It's like, hey, pay no mind to us. The sense of being communicated. And look
I love how Garfield's like, maybe they didn't see us.
And right after he closes the thing, they didn't see us. Of course, they have been spotted, and they are scared out of their gourds. They're chased outside. They walk the pier, which, by the way, folks, to give this a full circle quality, a big climax where you walk a pier. Remember that detail, folks. Remember that.
Okay.
It'll be a quiz at the end of the month.
Oh, God.
So, they walk a pier to evade their spooky pursuers. Odie almost falls in, really terrifying. And then basically they have to swim for it. Again, there will be a test, folks. They have to swim for it. But unfortunately, Garfield realizes far too late once he's in the water. Odie, I just realized something. I can't swim. Garfield can't swim. Because I like that. I like that Garfield's is one of the rare cats who's not afraid of water, but he's afraid of water for more logical reasons.
Yeah,
he can't swim. Right. Love that. That's why Garfield. Every time you see Garfield in the pool, he's always like on the kind of the pool
on the floaty device.
Yeah, he's on the floaty device because he can't swim. That makes makes a lot of sense. So let's see. So Garfield, he is caught in the current, which means he's going down. Like Garfield, he's a goner. He's a goner, Tiki. We're gonna have to end all this merchandising. Oh no! No, Tiki. What will we stick on the back of our cars now?
Calvin peeing on the back of our cars. That's what we'll stick on the back.
Screw that noise, man. I want Garfield. Dang it. Anyways, what do we do, Tiki? What is Garfield's salvation? What's the heartwarming moment of this episode? Tell us.
Well, Odie drags Garfield from the waters
to land. Sweet, sweet, bountiful land. And we have this really nice bit here where Garfield says, "I owe you one, buddy," because he's so grateful that Odie saved him. Again, deep down, these guys are kind of a species, kind of a weird species thing here, but they're brothers.
Oh yeah. All right. So Garfield's kind of lamenting how awful the night was. I've had nightmares that look like birthday parties compared to this.
Such a great line.
And then, of course, they stumble upon the boat, but more importantly, the candy.
Hooray! It's a happy ending. Boo-ray.
Yeah.
I mean that in a good way. Just like, boo. Haunted, spooky. Anyway, they grab the bags, they grab the bounty, and they're walking home all triumphantly. So, oh man, here's one of the best parts of the little special right here.
The end scene?
Yeah, the thing with Odie.
Yeah. Okay, so Garfield, he's basically saying, like, I'm going to do something completely out of character, Odie, because you saved me about 1 billion times tonight. I'm going to give you something of great personal worth and sacrifice to me. And
the ultimate seasonal pleasantry.
And he basically gives Odie Odie's half of the candy that he probably should have gotten anyways.
Yeah, because Garfield was just I love the sense of growth on Garfield here for a mere moment.
Basically, Garfield's idea of being super polite is doing the thing that you should just do by way of common courtesy.
Yes, and I love that as his arc of civility. He's showing Odie some civility, where he's just going to give him like the one piece as his stooge lackey. But now Odie went out of his way to help Garfield. Showing you again, Odie kind of had one up on Garfield there. It's kind of a tipping of the symbolic hat in a way of like, hey, here's your half of the candy, Odie. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really nice, man. It's the ultimate kind of Halloween pleasantry we've had so far. One of the ultimates.
Okay.
So Garfield, let's see. Garfield puts on the TV again. I love the full circle quality.
This is a wonderful ending. I love this ending.
Take us through it, T. Take us through it.
So basically, the creepy, out of show design old man shows up on the TV for a pirate movie festival.
And Garfield just, okay, boy, am I tired. Garfield goes to sleep. And he had such a great full circle snake eating the tail ending.
All right. And that's about it, Dragon.
Yeah.
Do you want to tease at the next selection, or do we want to do final thoughts? We never really went over that.
Well, yeah, let's... But do you really want to tease the next selection?
Do we not usually?
I honestly can't recall.
I'm
saying we probably do, but I don't know.
Let's keep it a mystery for now, folks.
Yes. Ooh.
I will give them a tease, okay? I'll give them a tease.
You give them a tease.
It's a Hey Arnold episode, but which episode?
There we go. That's how we keep them on the hook. That's how we do it.
All right. So next time we'll be taking a look at a spooky episode of Hey Arnold, but which one? We've done the Haunted Train. We've done Four-Eyed Jack, but there's still plenty more to cover. So
unfortunately, the original Halloween special, the alien thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did do that one too.
The first one, little Halloween special.
Right.
Okay.
Final thoughts, Dragon.
His final thoughts. I really love this thing, man. I'll admit, I agree with your points, Tiki. I agree that it's is it a heat wave holiday?
Honestly, I just don't think honestly, if we just had more dialogue stuff with Garfield and Odie instead of the musical sequences, like that to me is like the one thing that slightly drags it down.
Well, you know what, Tiki? I think. Again, this is nothing to kind of judge the special by, but I mean, the specials that I had seen for Garfield, again, I'm assuming they all predate the show. It's a guess, though. But, there have been other specials, not just holiday specials, but other specials. And it's been kind of a staple with those where they would have musical numbers in those specials. I guess I think deep down I'm just kind of used to that, so maybe that's why it doesn't bother me. I don't know. But regardless, even with them, I mean, I like them.
It's sort of the same reason why. I mean, Halloween is Grinch Night is something that does the musical numbers thing like that. That thing is like chock full of useless musical numbers. So
at least these are relevant to what's going on.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't they're not like out of left field. Like, I'm not checking my watch. I'm like, okay, this is kind of nice. Anyways, regardless, this whole thing. I mean, I think it captures a spirit like Heat Wave Holiday, but it's not as like perfect as Heat Wave Holiday. It's fine though. It's fine. It's a good holiday special. I mean, I would definitely watch this annually now that I've kind of experienced it really fully here. I mean, I would check it out. It's fun. It's cute. It's got a nice little arc in there. It's got some great humor. It celebrates a lot of the tropes of Halloween.
Well, folks, our spirits grow weary.
Whoa! Tropes, Tiki, tropes.
We never went over tropes.
That's what I'm saying. Don't we want to do a little bit of that?
I'm just saying, you should have reminded me.
Well, we literally went over it.
No, we did not literally go over it, because what we literally went over was that I was going to get to the outro after the final thoughts. That's what we literally went over. But sure.
Tropes is the kiss. Anyway, let's go over a few.
Baseball for y'all.
Let's go over a few holiday.
All right, so this has got some good ones. Of course, we got the jack-o'-lanterns. We got the trick-or-treating. Let's see. We've got...
candy.
Yeah, of course. Candy.
Clown.
Candy. Yeah, of course, sheet ghosts. I would say the trick-or-treating montage.
Not only do we have a creepy clown, but we have ghostly pirates.
Ghostly pirates, yes.
Creepy narrator.
Yes, creepy narrator. Kind of like an ambiguous, creepy ending.
Yes, very true. I don't know, bonding around Halloween. Like basically kind of that little bonding between Odie and Garfield. We've had bonding around Halloween. It's like Summerween. That's an example.
Sure. Yeah, very much so.
Let me see. Is there anything substantial? Of course, costumes. We already listed like all the King. The robotic hobo astronaut. Just I don't know. I think that's about it.
About it. Yeah. All right, folks. Well, now our spooky selection has come to an end. and our spirits grow weary. But don't worry, they'll be stronger than ever next time as we engage in even more haunted holiday hijinks. Maniacal laugh.
Worthless!
Star-Lord doing the monster mash. Oh yeah.